this episode, Sarah and I are going to look at Principle 3 of the Charity Governance Code, which is looking at integrity. So, Sarah, in this context, what do we mean when we talk about integrity?
I mean, the thing that first springs to mind is honesty, but it's more than that. I mean, it also encompasses looking at the charity's values and the board leading by example, applying ethical considerations to decisions and creating a warm and a welcoming, supportive culture which helps to achieve the charity's purposes. It goes to the charity's reputation and feeds in trust in charities generally.
Well, that all sounds lovely, but also it sounds quite a high benchmark for volunteers who are essentially trying to run an organisation in their spare time.
Yeah, and I think, the Commission recognises in its guidance that trustees are not expected to be perfect, and essentially charity law protects trustees who act reasonably and honestly. The code is saying that trustees or those working for representing the charity are supposed to be acting with trustworthiness, honesty and care, and supporting the values. So the trustees should be leading by example on this. It's important because we have seen various media stories where those at the top level haven't got this entirely right, and that has reflected badly back on the charity.
Yeah, so in terms of practical points that charities can consider here, what sorts of things can we suggest?
I think having a trustee code of conduct can be really helpful, helps set the tone from the top. And I think the other point that has to be mentioned here is having processes and policies in place on conflicts of interest. I mean, it is essential to identify and manage conflicts as they arise in practice. And this is something that comes up time and time again in Charity Commission compliance cases.
And what do you think our main takeaway is then on this principle?
I suppose if we go back to the bus, aside from saying its values underpinned by compliance, you're essentially saying, do people on the bus and outside the bus trust you? And of course, how you're viewed on the outside can be massively impacted by an individual's behaviour, so it's important to bear that in mind.
Thank you, and please join us next time when we'll be looking at openness and accountability.